What a great conversion story, huh? The most radical conversion story really ever, if you think about it. Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? To the great apostle Paul, we recognize today. Most of us in our lives have a much smaller, perhaps less dramatic conversion story, but nonetheless, against the horizon of Paul's great conversion, our story is still significant. I remember in my own life when I was first ordained a priest, often being asked to tell my vocation story to groups of young people. And my vocation story was really very boring. There really wasn't much to tell. I never fell off a horse. I never lost my vision. No, my vocation story, my being sent by God was just a very simple story of a son from a family that practiced their faith and a call to follow Jesus. But isn't that all of our stories? Isn't that all of our conversion? And perhaps we have this radical story today to recognize that being a disciple contains the same important tasks that the great St. Paul lived in his life. He was told, you'll cast out evil in my name. And in our own lives, we're called to that, to cast evil from this world where we walk, where we drive, where we go to school, where we work, to recognize that there is evil there. How can we cast it out? How can our compassion and love make a difference in this world? The assurance that as people who follow Jesus, no harm will come to us, no matter what happens. No matter what happens, God is with us. What a powerful story that is for us. And to help the sick recover. That's such an important reality of our lives too, isn't it? How we are called to so many bedsides, how we are called to help people with various illnesses, even spiritual illnesses, to recognize the power of recognizing Jesus in their lives. Yeah, you and I, perhaps we'll never get knocked off a horse. Perhaps it'll never be as radical as the story of St. Paul. But because of his story, our story makes sense. Because of his conversion, our conversion is nonetheless still filled with the power of the Spirit. Let's live that conversion more deeply every day. Let's deepen our commitment to the service of the gospel every day. And yes, let's seek the Lord's forgiveness for the times we haven't taken that conversion as seriously as we should, that we may continue to push on, to serve, and to help others to recognize the power of what St. Paul calls us, the body of Christ.